Hello, welcome to Santuário Lunar. In this video I'm going to present you 5 lessons I've learned from working with Goddess Hekate that you can also learn if you haven't learned yet. But before I start, let me ask you, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below and share it with your friends. Let's see. Lesson number 1. Don't be afraid of the dark. This is the most important lesson I've learned personally from Hecate, not to be afraid of darkness. But which kind of darkness? All of them. It can be the darkness of an area, of a place, of a corner, or even the darkness which are inside ourselves, in our shadow aspects, in our unconscious mind. It doesn't matter. Everything which is dark, it's dark because there's no light, and if there's no light, we cannot see. So the thing is, we don't need to be afraid if we cannot see something. We can use our other senses. We can learn to improve this sensibility. We can use our hearing, our touch, which is a bit dangerous, but it's possible, our smelling, just like Hecate's dogs, or we can even use our third eye to see it perfectly in the dark. The thing is, Hecate can guide us through darkness. Hecate can show us the things which are hidden there because she bears the torches. And with her torches, she can illuminate things for us until we can see them for ourselves. But one important thing is that when we start seeing this, understanding this darkness, we clearly see that darkness itself, it's natural. That's why it's not necessary to be afraid of it. It's something totally natural in nature, in our life. So we just have to deal it properly. And when we start getting experienced in exploring the darkness and exploring the dark corners of life, something changes. Before we get the experience, darkness is something apart, it's something outside of us. But when we get the experience and we learn with her how to properly explore it, we become part of the darkness. And instead of being afraid of what's there, we are the reason for them to be afraid. Number 2, keep and reveal the right secrets. We know that Hecate carries her keys, and with her keys, she's able to open and close whatever she wants. We also have our keys, and we are also able to open and close whatever we want to. So, for example, all our plans, all our desires, wishes, our innermost personality aspects, we can close the doors which give access to this, and we can also open these doors and reveal what's inside if we wish to. But the lesson here learned from Hecate is the following. Whenever we have our wishes, our dreams, our plans, they must be kept safe from outsiders. So imagine that all the things you are planning, all the things you dream of, all your projects, you keep in a specific room inside a castle. And you have the key, of course, so you lock the doors and only you can enter this room to see what's inside. And you know precisely where everything is. You know every detail. If you need something, you go to the right shelf and you pick up this. If you need another object, another important detail, you go to the right place and you get it. But then in life, we meet a lot of people, we talk a lot, we share experiences, we exchange experiences, and sometimes we give the key to the wrong people. And these people, when they have the keys, they open the door and they enter and they find what's there, what's inside. So the moment one person enters and sees what's inside the room, he touches it, he knows it, he can even steal something from there, and he can even make a mess inside. Next time you enter to look for the details for you to really manifest it, you can't recognize everything anymore. There's influence and bad influence. So the lesson Hecate teaches here with the keys is this. Just reveal the things for people you really trust, and just reveal the things you really want to reveal. You can close and open the doors that you want. Nobody is able to tell you which door you have to open or close for themselves. You have to decide, and you have the keys for this. Don't let anyone influence you. What's yours is yours. Lesson number 3. Changes are part of everything. We can also learn this lesson from Buddhism. The only certain thing in life is change. But with Hecate, we also learn this lesson in a harsher way. It's not so delicate, it's not so beautiful, but we also learn this. And with Hecate, the lesson is given through ways, through paths. Hecate is known as being the goddess of paths, of roads, so she knows all the ways that lead somewhere or anywhere. And even though we don't know where we are going to, our unconscious mind knows it, and we can express this wish to Hecate using our subconscious mind, so our conscious mind doesn't know it, but we already made the communication. So she guides us. And she shows the best ways to follow, the best routes to go, like a GPS, like a Google Maps. But anyway, when we stop on a road and we have 2 ways or more ways to go, where do we have to go? She can guide us. She can show us the right path for that moment. And why do I say the right path? Because it can be the hardest one, or it can be the easiest one. She knows exactly what we need to experience. She knows exactly the things we have to see, the things we have to learn, so we can finally reach our goal. Have you heard the song Hounds of Hecate? In the song it said, Ela krata tuhierimo, Ela miostin tinami. And this is perfect for this lesson. We can allow Hecate to guide us, and then we will see and experience a lot of things. We will be changing all the time. And by the way, have you ever paid attention to Hounds of Hecate lyrics? We can interpret that with 2 meanings, basically. The first one is that the person is really following Hecate through a path towards something. And the second interpretation is that the person is dead and actually is guiding the soul to the underworld. Actually, it doesn't make a difference if it's the first or the second interpretation, because in both cases we are passing through changes. It's just a step of a big change, even if you are going to the next stage of life, or even if you died and you are going to a next stage of life. So it doesn't really matter. But the thing is, when we follow Hecate's guides and paths, when we walk through her ways, things are going to change. It will be continuously changing, and that's good. Lesson number 4. Practice witchcraft with animals. And no, I'm not talking about sacrificing animals here. I'm talking about working with animals. Hecate is a dark goddess. Sometimes it's difficult to understand her. But we know that she is depicted as a woman, and sometimes she's even depicted as having animal faces. And the most common animal faces are dogs, horses, and snakes. But apart of this, she's usually depicted with dogs around her. And why do we have this? Because dogs protect Hecate, and Hecate also protects the dogs. So it's a mutual relation here of protection. And when we observe this and we take this lesson to our lives, we pay attention to dogs and other animals, but mainly dogs. And if we start magically working with these dogs, we can take our witchcraft to another level. Dogs are beautiful beings full of healing power, healing magic. And if you have a dog in your house, and if you haven't done so, talk about Hecate with your dog. You will see the dog pays attention. He understands this name. He knows who Hecate or Hecate is. He will know who you'll be talking about. So work magically with your animals, mainly dogs, and you will take your witchcraft skills to another level. This is the lesson. Lesson number 5. There's a time for everything in life. One of the most common depictions of Hecate depicts her as a triple goddess, so she has 3 different faces, looking to different ways. And we can also interpret this as if she's looking to different times, so she can see past, present, and future. So the idea of time to Hecate is completely different of our idea of time. So this can be very confusing for us because we live just the moment. We know things that happened in the past and sometimes you don't even remember, but they happened. And we can plan our future, but we can only change exactly now. We can only make things happen now and we can see the results later. But for Hecate, it doesn't exist. Past, present, and future can be seen as just one single thing. She can go and come whenever she wants. She has this ability, this different perception. So when we want to manifest something and we want it now or tomorrow, is it possible? Yes, it is, but not usually. We have to wait for this. We can watch this getting ripe so we can crop it, but sometimes we are so desperate that we want this now. And as I said, it's not usually the case. And the lesson from Hecate here is this: there's a time, a specific time for everything we want. And working with her magic in our witchcraft, we can have a better perception of time, let's say like this. Because we can understand that we are manifesting something now. We want to achieve something. But somehow we are not fully prepared to handle this. So we know, working with Hecate, that our future being is completely ready, is completely capable of handling this energy. So Hecate can guide us towards this future being. And that's the thing, it will take some time to be fully prepared. So she knows exactly all the steps we have to go through to achieve what we want. We just have to trust and follow and wait for the right time. So these were my top 5 lessons I've learned from working with Hecate in my witchcraft practice. I hope you can also learn them in time if you haven't learned yet. And as I said in the beginning, if you like this video, please give your thumbs up, leave a comment below, tell me your lesson, your favorite lesson, or the one you learned from Hecate. Share this video with your friends, join our Telegram channel and use our free oracles online. Thank you. And if you're still here, why don't you stay a bit longer? Here you find a playlist with this new series I'm starting now, 5 things I've learned from a specific goddess. Here you find a playlist with all the magical studies I've talked about. Here you can join the Telegram group and access the free oracles, and here you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you.